I wonder if there's some people in the building, they're experiencing revival in your life, and you've seen that God has been good and faithful. Come on, make some noise for the Lord in this place. Y'all acting like it's normal to have 755 people give their lives to Jesus Christ. Come on, make some noise for the Lord in the house tonight. Woo! Y'all, I don't know about y'all, but this joint is crazy what's happening right now. Oh my gosh. Yo, hey, real quick, before you sit down, go to somebody, introduce yourself, go outside of your section, outside of your aisle. If you are behind the pillars, come on and join us up here at the front. Come on up here, find a position. You are in rebellion if you are sitting behind these pillars. So come on up here, make your way on up here. Say what's up to somebody, introduce yourself. Y'all come on up here. Come on up here. If y'all in the back, I'll call y'all out. I'll point at you. I don't want to point at you. Brothers are so cool. Brothers be like, let me go on up there. I love y'all. Ooh, man, how y'all feeling tonight? Y'all feeling good? Man, excited. Thank y'all so much for being in the building tonight. Want to shout out all of our guests that are here tonight. How many of y'all, if this is your first time at Revivalist in a minute, just wave your hands. Just put your hand up if it's been a minute. Thank y'all for hanging out. What's up, what's up, what's up? Thank y'all, and all of our first-time guests that are in the building. Glad to have you, sir. Glad to have you all. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us tonight. Tonight's special because we get an opportunity to talk about all the amazing things that's been happening in our church, y'all. And best believe, God has been doing things that is unreal. It is just, y'all, I know, I don't know about y'all, but how many of y'all grew up, if you attended church, you went to a church that was less than 500 people? Raise your hand. Ooh, look at that. Wow. Okay, so that's 98% of us, right? God has been doing some things, you all. We were talking about all the great things that's been happening, and I don't know about you, babe, but like, have you got used to this? Because you were born, raised in this. Is this?
I was born right here in this sanctuary. Everybody's looking at me like, no, I wasn't literally born here. No, but no, I don't think you ever get used to the way that the Lord just can radically change a person's life. And the baptisms take me out every time. It's the baptisms for me. Every single time. I'll tell y'all something. Since we already here,
let's go.
I told Pastor David, when I got baptized, it was at the Boys and Girls Club, because we used to baptize people over there. All I remember is the chlorine. I think that's all I remember to this day. But it wasn't that significant for me. I think I was 9 years old. Y'all, and seeing these baptisms and the responses, I told Pastor David, I was like, I think I want to get baptized again. And then I said, well, Lord, how is that going to look if the pastor gets baptized again? And I told him, I said, well, maybe you can do it in like a pool somewhere, like at the Y, and nobody has to see, and we'll tell the church later. But for real, I was like, you know what, God? I'm going to think about this. I may need to get baptized this Sunday and just jump up in there. Because I was 9, and for many of you, you make these decisions. And I just went through the ritual of, okay, yeah, you get baptized. Yeah. And so much had happened in my life after that, where I was like, Lord, I think I want to have that experience in what I know now. So y'all might pop up and I might slide through in one of the
I got
pools.
to change the clothes on Sunday. We do.
Y'all think I should?
We do that. Yes, mommy. Let's go do it.
Y'all, I've been wrestling with this. This has been a real thing. I don't even know why I'm telling y'all this. I've been talking about it in secret for like 6 months.
Come out.
I know. But it's hit me like that too. I don't know if that is for you, that I just made me think about, oh yeah, Lord, I want to do this again, you know. And so that moves me every time I see people that come and make these statements, and you can tell when they come up or when they're just sitting in the water, like, oh, God is doing something.
Yes.
And so it has just been blowing my mind.
It's been blowing my mind. Y'all, we got some of y'all are here because you got a text message and you saw some things about, hey, we got to be here to share some of the great things that are happening. And so, you know, our church is all about building an overcoming church out of broken lives through the power of Jesus Christ. That has been our vision statement for some times. And we have what's called our mission statement. You all have heard us talk about it over the last 4 or 5 years, which is we want to know God. And so we want to discover our purpose that he has for us so that we can live an open, generous life and then make a difference. And that's been happening in ways that just it's just unreal. I mean, it's just unreal. So as I told y'all, we had 755 people commit their lives to Jesus in 12 months. 286 people got baptized. 961 people went through Growth Track, y'all. Is that crazy? Oh my God. And we had, and this what gets me. In our Know God class, back in the day, we used to have a class called Foundations 1. Y'all remember that? Or we and then it merged to New Life class, and then we switched it up to, I think it was Lifeline 1 is what we did. And so we realized that all these people that are getting saved, and in the system that we put in place there, we realized, like, man, we got to make sure, like, do they understand what repentance means? Do they know what it means to actually walk out in forgiveness? What is the Bible? How do you read the Bible? And so that's been encouraging. We had 101 people, y'all, go through Know God over this last year. Come on, y'all, make some noise for that. And that is representative of new believers. These are not people, these are new believers or people that walked away and they're trying to establish a foundation. It's been crazy, y'all. Y'all, we have, let me make sure I got this number right. We have 700 volunteers or dream teamers that we serve, that are serving. So thank you all. That is all of y'all, most of y'all. And we average about 167 each Sunday, and that's not because everybody is not serving. It's just we only have 100. We only have the amount of seats available for those volunteer opportunities, and so that's been incredible in what's happening. And I mean, it's just people are showing up here at CRC in ways that I can't even believe. Like, I don't get used to this, and you know, we've been trying to flesh out a new opportunity and new types of worship. You all have been seeing the altars, y'all, have been flooded with all different types of people, and it's just been unreal to see what God has been doing. And so we have this experience that we're doing tonight called Revivalist. And so I just want to reaffirm what Revivalist is. Revivalist is our once a month midweek service. Back in the day, we used to do something called Crazy Church, and if you all remember that, it was every Wednesday. If y'all want to go way back, we used to have service on Wednesday and Thursday because we had, if you alphabetized based on because it was so crazy over at our old location. And so that's morphed into several different expressions. Right before the pandemic, we did something called First Wednesdays. And so Revivalist is just that repackaged, okay? So Revivalist is not a youth service. Revivalist is not a young adult service. Revivalist is our once a month midweek gathering that we do on the first Wednesday. For us, it's where we can talk about things that we don't talk about on Sunday. Yeah, go a little bit deeper in some of those things. And so I want to make sure that you're here, not just for tonight, but just prioritize in your schedule to be at Revivalist. We'll start at 7 p.m. like we did tonight. I know some of you all were, y'all be keeping us here until 9:08, 9:10. And so Pastor Lydia banged me up on the head. She's like, if we're going to do that, you better feed them. And so we're working on that as well because we used to do that. So somebody's like, wait, kids, cool, Chick-fil-A. We started tonight, though. We got food trucks out there tonight. And so once we finish, we're going to head out there and just get some grub. And it's all on us,
Yes,
right?
It's all on us. And we will have, because many of you have come up to, we will have like vegan options, vegetarian options. We will have a very diverse, food for everyone to eat. So anyway, I
Very
wanted to say that
inclusive.
for some of the people that yoke me up in the hallway.
Like yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. So we'll have that available. And so again, Revivalist starts at what time? One more time. The Revivalist starts at what time? Somebody comes to you on the street, be like, what time does Crazy Church start? Don't argue with them and say, it ain't called Crazy Church no more. You don't got to do that. Just say 7 p.m., okay? For the people that it takes a second, like all of us, Revivalist, which is our midweek, once-a-month gathering, starts at what time? 7 p.m. Those of you all that are online. So I just want to remind you all of that. Cool? You all have been hearing us talk about revive and revival and revive. And so we heard the cry of the men and the women. Loudly the women. But brothers, this is how brothers scream.
You're getting real intense.
No, brothers scream like this. We be like, so y'all just going to do that for the ladies, huh? We not going to say, I would like a conference as well. We don't say that. We say, oh, so y'all just gonna do one, or y'all know how we do, because we don't like to be vulnerable and show some weakness, And so, Revive Us is a mutual, collaborative effort that we're gonna do to bring the brothers and the sisters together, called Revive Us. Come on, make some noise if y'all ready to grow in that. I want to answer a couple questions about that. What Revive Us will spin off into is revive him and revive her.
So that, ladies, that'll take the place of how we used to have Glow. So we kind of dissolved Glow, just for many of you if you haven't been here. Right before the transition, we got into that last year, the transition. So we don't want to keep things separate. We believe that the Lord is talking to me for the ladies. He's talking to all of us, the men and the women. But what we're going to do outside of that, outside of our collective gathering, the ladies will have Revive Her, which will be brunches that I'm going to do with you this year. So we'll have brunches and we'll go on hikes and we'll just do different things where we get together. So we'll have our own group. So I'm still gonna work with my ladies.
Hold on now, because see, this is what happens. Like
we talked about this though.
The issue is not are the ladies gonna do something. I know y'all gonna do something.
I'm just letting my ladies know because they was asking.
Yeah, but
we gonna cook. We gonna eat some good food. We gonna do some cooking experiences.
Now, fellas,
together.
y'all don't leave me out here now. Y'all, I'm stepping out.
What you got, Pastor David?
We gonna eat chicken wings. I told somebody, I was like, all you got to do is put 1,000 chicken wings in the middle of a table. We don't need napkins. We don't need no plate. Just sling that meat up there. Woo! We will work it out. We don't need no sides.
Y'all gonna have a salad. Okay.
Nah, we don't need salad. Just y'all know that despicable salad that just got lettuce and spice it up with cutting up a tomato. We don't even need no dressing.
We'll use the budget, ladies. We'll take that. Y'all have the wings. We gonna do a little bit more.
Nah, so fellas, check it out. Check it out. We're same thing. We're gonna do this collectively together for Revive Us, which will be the launch of this collaboration. And then on Mother's Day, the sisters will do Revive Her that Saturday before Mother's Day, and then for Father's Day, brothers will do Revive Him. We'll do brunch. Like I said, I don't care about eating chicken wings or fried fish or baked fish, I guess, for the two of us that will do that. So we'll get together on Father's Day. Brothers, make some noise. Let us know you're in the building, y'all. Make some noise. Come on. We out here with y'all. We out here. We gonna be revived too.
We see you. We appreciate you too.
Oh yeah, and shout out to y'all ladies for tapering back. Pastor Lydia and I, we said, hey, when we start this, we want to start it together, okay? So fellas, I don't mind doing this. Fellas.
Oh, man.
Fellas.
Hey, brothers.
Fellas. I plead with y'all. I beseech you all, brothers, to go to crcglobal.org and register for Revive Us, okay?
How you gonna get back up?
No, I'll be fine.
You need a sister to help you up, though.
We got to revive us together.
I got you.
Yeah. Together.
Revive us.
Yeah. Revive them knees. Revive them knees. Listen, fellas. Because, yo, this is what I don't like, yo. This is what I don't like. And we're going to talk about this. Like, yo, there's so many gender wars and people clashing with each other. And fellas should be doing this. Ladies should be doing this. Me and Lydia, we have kept our mouths shut for a lot of it. It's not because we don't have something to say. It's just we got to get it in the right space. So then when we say it, we got the proof of the changed lives that comes together. And y'all, people are they get this microphone and this camera and they start talking about dumb stuff that they don't know what they're talking about. And we just believe that God is raising up men and women who love him, who want to please him, and are in the middle of processing life and processing their discipleship. And we want to help you all with that. So brothers, don't leave me out here, y'all. Okay, all right, y'all don't leave me out here. All right, if you go ahead and register, get here. You're like, well, I didn't know. Here it is, because we'll build from this moment. We started at our prayer that we did in January, and that was amazing. And so let's get everybody in here. If you got a college student or young adult, you're seeing, it doesn't matter the age, y'all. We all getting together because we all can learn from each other. And we're going to do that. We're going to do some stuff together. It's going to be fun. We're going to talk about relationships. We're going to do all that stuff. We talk about sex. We're going to talk about relationships. We talk about all that good stuff. Some of y'all been wondering, what y'all be sending us DMs too. Well, I wonder, what do you all think about that? We have a lot that we think about it. We just don't say it because some of the stuff that we believe and we say, if we said it on the internet, like, you know, the internet isn't Calvary Revival Church, and that's part of the problem with some pastors, is that they're saying things that is for the people out there instead of the people that they're actually supposed to be shepherding. And that's what we want to do. We want to shepherd you all well, help you all, build yourself up, grow. And so Revive Us is the launch of that. And so get registered, I think, what is it, midnight or on the 9th next Sunday will be the end of the registration. So get registered and do that. And just register somebody. Just lie on somebody and say, look, I registered you, so you're gonna be there. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. So Revive Us is gonna be dope. Revive Us is gonna be super, super dope. And everyone here should register. So tonight we're gonna max out the registration. So if you are not registered, do that tonight, and we'll be able to serve you in that well. So it's been incredible. I want to talk a little bit about Connect groups, and Connect groups have been incredible. I want to shout out Pastor Derek and also Sandra Brown and all of our Connect group coaches and all of our leaders. Been incredible. Had 148 different groups last year, y'all. Come on, make some noise for that. That represents, Pastor Derek, where are you at, Pastor D? Pastor D, can you stand up, man? Can you stand up, y'all? Yeah, we appreciate you, Pastor Derek. Pastor Derek is finishing up his doctorate degree in ministry, and so he's got a lot of good things that we're working on, and so I'm appreciative for his leadership. About 1,200 people that we had over this last year, and so it's just crazy. That's just ridiculous, and so a lot of great things are happening. If you are interested in a group, I think that you cannot grow in your faith if you're not a part of a group of people that you're doing life with and growing and walking through your challenges. And so I want to encourage everybody that's in here to be a part of a group. I'm gonna be in every group. I told Pastor Lydia last year, I said, okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. We have 3 seasons. I'm going to try to go to one different group every week, and I'll double up on some of them. My hope is I'll just pop up in y'all's group. I'll pop up at the golf spot. I'll pop up in your weaving joint that y'all do. I'll pop up in some of the ladies' joints just to be nosy. I'm like, what y'all talking about over here? And so I'm gonna pop up in the bowling joint. I'm just gonna pop up. And so if y'all see me pop up on a Zoom or pop up in real life, don't act weird and don't change how y'all been talking, because I'm popping up in that joint. Do exactly what you're doing, okay? Don't bring no strange prophets in there and start prophesying, or we could prophet lying in there, okay? That's not what those are. And just to speak to that, we understand that there is always going to be a group of people that get weird in those group settings. And we've created the model for that to happen, that we can kind of identify that. So if you're in a group and weird stuff happens that is not our DNA at Calvary, you don't got to yell at them. You don't got to send a scary message to anybody. It's the beauty and the messiness of community. That's what happens in the Christian community. That's the stuff that Paul was writing to the churches about. It's all normal. So none of this stuff is new. And so as you all are in community, we understand that there's going to be some of that, but that doesn't stop us from making it open so that other people can be a part. We have people that they got saved in our groups, and they've got baptized as a result of our groups. There's about 25% of the people, they're not a part of our church, and they're coming, y'all, so they're just like, I love this. And so we want to continue to grow that. We want to hit that. We're trying to break this glass ceiling to really take it above the number where we're at. And so it's going to be exciting to see what happens.
And we really believe that you have to be connected to the people to understand the vision. So we have to, if we really want to understand and all of us take hold of the vision, that we have to be connected to each other, because a lot of people have opinions about what we should be doing but are not connected. So we have to be connected in some way, and make it available, intentional in your schedule to say, I'm going to be a part of a connect group, or I'm going to start something.
Yeah.
A lot of you have so many great things that you could share, and skills and life experiences. You should really start a connect group, and it doesn't have to be anything overwhelming. It could really just be for an hour once a month if you wanted to. Can they do that, Pastor Derek?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Once a month, what could work for you? So just think about some ways, Lord, okay, I want to get connected, but maybe show me some ways that my schedule can make that possible. We just want you all to be connected, and that's really our hope and prayer.
It's been incredible with the groups. And speaking of groups, we have a ton of kids and students that have been coming and growing. And y'all, I tell y'all, man, so all these people that are getting saved, they're bringing their kids, they're bringing their cousins, they're bringing their nephews, their cousins, nephews, their godchildren. Y'all, it is going bonkers over there in student and family team. So I want to shout out all of our student and family leaders. Y'all make some noise for Sade, make some noise for Slater, make some noise for, who am I missing? Erica and Lillian and Tiana and all the squad. Thank you all. Y'all, they were pushing kids in rooms, and they had to move them, and it's been so much, because the growth is crazy. And so we're excited about that. I met with Sade when she first came on staff here 3 years ago. She's been a part of the church for 20-something years. But when I said, Sade, I really want to have in a 3 square mile radius of everybody that's in this location, this address, I want their kids, their students, the schools to be down with what we're doing, and we just go in there and serve. And they've done that. Their normal rhythm of their week, they're in these schools serving, helping, in addition to Sunday, discipling all your children, equipping you all to disciple your children. I'm just so pleased about everything God's been doing. Check this out, y'all. So Sunday, 24 people came to the altar on Sunday, right? And so that was, y'all, so 24 lives changed on Sunday, y'all. 24 souls are going to Jesus with heaven. Y'all, yeah. So we have a group that we get all these stats at the end of the service, and then Sade said, 11 students got saved on Sunday, like 11. So 35 people came to Jesus last Sunday alone, y'all. It's crazy. So God's working in our kids, and y'all pray for us. We're running into some space issues, and we're trying to work through all that as we're trying to build the vision and kind of make some space for everybody. I want to talk a little bit about our mission squad and our missions team and what we do. And so to give you all some idea, y'all, we fed 11,981 people. We're connected through our resources and feeding. Y'all, so I'm going to just call that 12,000. I'm going to take the privilege to do that. We served almost 12,000 people, you all, and that's crazy. You all know recently, over the last few years, we developed Revive Community, which is the outreach of what we do, so that we can get those resources, get those checks, get those funding from all these corporations, so that we can funnel the support and the resources to be able to do that. So all of our master's finance programs, all of the things that we do to kind of build that team and that department, so that we can see all these needs be met. We're starting Feed the City in just a little bit, so we'll be here on Saturday, correct? Saturday, we'll be here on Saturday to start that. We're gonna feed more people. I want to shout out Anita. Anita is on our staff. Anita, are you here? Anita, is she here? She's probably somewhere working. She's probably somewhere. Anita's not. She's somewhere in the back. So Anita's one of our main directors, kind of supports all that and coordinates that. Alex is our executive director of Revive. And so a lot of the momentum that you all have seen is because of that team. All of our volunteers, thank you all so much. This has been incredible, y'all. We're having to figure out a way to do with the resources. Something that's cool happening. So right now, our executive building, which is our building over here across the parking lot, that our executive building is under construction because we're revamping it, and we're going to make it a co-op space so that people can come and run their businesses out of there. It'll be our headquarters for our staff and for our operation of what we do, but then also we're going to open it up so that people that are entrepreneurs that are doing amazing, creative, innovative things, they can work out of there and have this collaborative effort. And so that's happening right now, y'all. It's happening right now. That project costs about $1.3 million, and so we are in the middle of paying for that, and so I'll talk a little bit more about that. But on the back of that building, we have what's called our Revive Center, and so I was just over there today. I looked at everything, y'all. Y'all, if you've never been over there, when we open this thing up, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do this pop-up for Revive to get us ready for Summer Homies. It's going to be coming up in the summertime, and so it's going to be crazy, so be a part of that. But I'm telling y'all, this joint is about to go crazy. We are going to be the model and the standard for outreach from now on in the whole entire state. And Pastor Lydia and I were at a conference recently, and we connected with some people from some of the other states that are doing things like that and larger. And so we're excited about talking about how we can grow our operation to meet more needs. And so it's going to be crazy. We're feeding people, we're clothing people, we're helping people with their money. We're doing workshops. We're teaching people how to defend themselves. We're teaching them how to box. We're doing it all. We are going to meet every need that you have. We do that. And so we'll be doing that on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And so make sure that you're in the building for that. And we're going to keep renovating our community. It's going to be amazing to see what God's going to do. I'm excited about that.
I'm excited about that. Another thing that we've been talking about with Revive Center, with Revive Community, is a community garden. And what I would just love, we have a plot of land back there that we've been talking about with different urban farmers and different people who have history of farming, and I would love to be able for us to provide living food in this area, teach people how to, grow vegetables and grow their own food, and provide resources. But then what do you do when you grow them? Give them healthy food options, more recipes and things, and just be able to offer this to the people in our community, just to come get some kale. Let me give you some kale, some squash, some tomatoes. I mean, I would love to just have that in the foyer, a whole market for people to just get it as you leave. So, I mean, there's so much vision that we have that we're excited about, and connecting our community to all that God has been able to bless us with. I'm excited.
We have a friend of ours. They have done TED Talks, and you all know. I don't mind sharing this. You all, Bishop Apostle Lockett, who passed 11 years ago. His daughter Faith and Gardner and James Gardner. They're like two of our best friends. James and Faith are doing some things down in North Carolina. They got a documentary made on them. They're getting all these grants. It's ridiculous what's happening. So some years ago, Pastor Lydia and I were talking about that space down there, and I was like, man, I had this idea of this. There's this Japanese architect that does some incredible things like what we're talking about up north in New Hampshire. And so I was just looking at the way that we could do like an outdoor sanctuary auditorium thing that kind of facilitated all of this. And so there's all this vision that we have for that. And so we're excited about what that's going to look like.
So if you garden or you farm, or if that's been in your family, we're going to be calling on you.
Yes.
And so we would love you to be a part of what we're doing. That'll be amazing.
That's the local stuff, and then we're always meeting needs. We're always feeding people, helping people pay bills. We're always doing that. We're always serving our community. We're able to respond when those needs come up, and if we have the capacity to do that, we do that. And we're globally as well. We've served all of our churches around the globe. We've been building churches globally. So in Nigeria, in India, in the Dominican Republic, in Uganda, God's moving. And so as Lydia and I are trying to figure out, Lord, what's on your heart? What are you giving us a burden for? We want to continue to resource those when we can do that. And so we're just excited about the reach that God is doing. But none of this stuff would be possible if you all weren't faithful in your giving. And I just want to shout you all out, because y'all, we're going to celebrate this thing, y'all. So
Y'all are the most amazing church. I just have to say that. Y'all are the most incredible group of people that I have ever encountered. I mean, we brag about you all, and I just, the things that the giving never went down in the transition. There's things that we did that you all did that just on paper doesn't make sense. I wish you could just see just how amazing you are and have been so faithful to this house. And I just had to stop and say that the Lord is just, he's blessing you. He's blessing the church. He's blessing all of us. And I just want to thank you again. You all are just, y'all are showing out. Y'all are making us look better than what we are. When we tell people, they're like, how long have y'all been pastoring? It's like 120 days.
Y'all, we were at a conference last week.
4 months.
we were at a conference last week, and y'all, we walked into this room. There's all these incredible leaders, A1, small gathering, all these great. Y'all, some of y'all saw it on our socials, and so, you know, we walked up in this joint. We was like, oh snap, they're here. And you know, y'all ever walked in a room and you be like, am I in the right room? You know what I'm saying? It was one of those things, and we started talking about all the things that God's doing, and I was like, and they like, for real, what? 755, what? Like, how long y'all been doing this? Like, oh, what, 120 days, you know? And so it's been incredible. We had over 4,347 people have been givers of in tithes and offerings, y'all. 4,347 people have giving. So give you all some context. So last year, in 2023, actually, you all gave $8,100,904.112. And so it was just, you gave over $8.1 million. $8.1 million. In 2024, y'all see that big old number. Y'all gave $8,551,669.75, which is a 4.5 increase, y'all. In a year where we succeeded in transition to ministry. And so here's a little bit of the breakdown of what that looks like. That type is pretty small, but I can explain it. So that's 56% of that is just our operating expenses. So that's staff, that's lights, that's, you know, it's what it just takes just to run everything. Put that back up there, guys. It's 56%. 13% of that is our missions. So that's the local, global, national missions, and that's 4.3 is for programs. That's for team night, things like that, and then our reserve. We were able to save last year $1.2 million, which is really, really good. Now, I'll explain where that is today. That's changed since some of the things that we've done. And then our mortgage payment is only 4.4% of that because we did a refi at the end of 23 going into 24. And so that's greatly reduced the burden that we have so that we can just do ministry. And we're going to improve all of that. I'm excited to share what some of that's going to look like. And so for the almost 5,000 partners that we have that's been giving, that's been faithful, thank you all. We could not do this without you. And to clarify the term partner, I want to make sure that we're clear on that. So a partner is if you call Calvary your church home. Now, the legal term is you've gone through our growth track process. That's the legal way, at least step one of it. But I know church is different now. People are watching us all over the world, and they're connecting with us. And so we feel if you're connected so much that you're giving and you're a part, then you're a partner of our church. And that may look different for different people in different places, but we want to be sure that you're connected to that and it makes sense for what we're doing. And then you all have heard us talk about Revival Legacy. That is our campaign that we do for people that want to go above and beyond our tithes and our offerings. And historically, you know, we've always done these for renovations or projects and things like that. So as we shared at our New Year's Eve gathering, our Revival Legacy focus this year is just to rebuild our reserve. And I shared this in some settings, but to give you all, if this is your first time hearing it, as we did the transition, there was a lot of expenses that we had to do to handle all of that. There's just a lot of things that come with transitioning the ministry and making sure that that we can do that effectively. And so we're able to rebuild that reserves because a lot of that came from that reserve account. And so we're rebuilding that so that we can be strong and stabilize ourselves so that when we say, okay, now y'all, we about to do X, Y, and Z, we don't gotta pray about it. We've set ourselves up to be able to be lean and mean to be able to do that. And I am all of them. I guess fiscally, I'm conservative. I believe in margin. I believe in having space. The way I always tell everybody, like, if I'm gonna go to New York, I'm not going to New York with $200. Who wants to do that? That's stressful, and you're gonna be eating dollar slice of pizza every meal. You know what I'm saying? It takes more than that to get to the tolls after that Easy Pass. You can't even you're gonna be doing this in Jersey somewhere trying to get home. And so so we don't want to do that, and we want to make sure that we're lean and mean and have margin, so that when God gives the directive, it's time to go, then we're gonna go ahead and do that. Do y'all believe that? Anybody believe you want to operate that way? Yeah. All of our online stats, y'all, all of our online platforms are going crazy. They're going bonkers. We respect that. We're shifting some of our focus. We're trying to get more strategic on our online. That we realize, like, the people that are online right now, some of them will never, ever come to our church, like ever come to this physical location, but they're a part of our church. And so we have to adjust our strategy, adjust our language. And so we're going to be doing that this year, and over the next 3 years, we'll be focusing resources and money and time to be able to really build and disciple our church that's online. It's not just they're just peering in, but they're engaged, they're a part of it, they're down, they're building, growing with us, tracking with us, and so we're going to do that. And so I think for us, the real mandate of what we're doing is that if you want to build this legacy, then you want to always be constantly giving in excess, above and beyond what you could think. I have found, anybody found this, has been doing this for a little while, that I'm never relieved of the pressure to be generous. Like, I don't ever mature out of being generous. I just find that my heart gets adjusted, and then God gives me more capacity, and then I get stretched a little bit more, and I get stretched a little bit more. And just when I think I got it, he's like, yeah, but I want you to do this. So some words of wisdom. So some of you all that are new in this, it's never going to get easy. It's never going to be just like, oh, I know how to do this. Because the moment it gets comfortable, he says, let me extend you a little bit more, because I want to stretch you a little bit more. I want to grow you more and more and more. And so I think that's always going to be something on the heart of God. And so that's what happened last year. And so I just want to spend a few moments talking about this year and what we're going to be doing. You all, how many of you all enjoyed or are reading or have read Emotionally Healthy Spirituality? Yeah? If you have not read this and y'all were faking on us during consecration and prayer and fasting, you slipping, okay? So be sure that you're tracking with us in this book. We only taught, I think, the first 2 or 3 chapters. We didn't get into that. So we're going to talk about it all year long. And so this year, we don't have any numerical goals. We don't have any metric goals that we're asking for our missions teams and all of that. Typically, I'll say, hey, I want to have 500 people here and 600 this and 1,200 that. We're not doing any of that. The one goal that we have that we've shared with you all through prayer and fasting is, are we healthy? Not how many people coming. Are you healthy? Not, well, we saw this, we saw that. The question is, are you healthy? That's what we'll be asking. We'll be asking that on our teams. We'll be talking about that in our discipleship groups. We'll be talking about that in our marriages. We're going to be talking about that with our single people. We're going to be talking, are you healthy? Because as God has started this revival and it's going bonkers, the worst thing in the world is for you not to be healthy and all this expansion is happening. Because this is what will happen. You'll start out strong, but then you'll crash land because you're not maintaining your wellness. And so we wanted to start our first time that we led prayer and fasting and kind of the first year of what we're doing with the question of, are we healthy? Because if we're healthy, we'll be strong and we'll be effective. If we're not healthy, anybody knows that, like, there's a lot of different types of growth. You can grow things real big, but certain growth is cancerous, and it's not good to grow. And so we don't want to grow in an unhealthy way. So that's what we'll be asking. Are we healthy? Are you healthy? And we're going to be asking. You all will be fine. We looking at each other's eyes like, how's your marriage going? Are y'all happy right now? Are y'all enjoying your time together? Sis, bro, how's life going for you right now? We're going to be asking that, and not that church answer like, I'm blessed and highly favored. I mean, we are all blessed and highly favored. I mean, that's theologically we are, you know what I'm saying? So like.
Yeah, and that's, I think, language that even using in our connect groups, when you meet with the people in your connect groups, hey, maybe you just start out with, are we healthy? How are you doing? Really just getting an idea and an understanding of the needs of people around you, because I just don't want us to exist together without really knowing the deep felt needs of the people that we come and worship next to. Because it just goes by so quick on Sunday mornings. You could just be hands up, worship, sit down, you get into your routine, and you really have not looked anybody in the eye to just see, like, really, how are you doing? Yeah. You know, how are you doing? And so so we want that to be a part of just the language here. You know that we care about your health, and each of us care about one another's health.
Yep. And so there's 5 goals that we'll have around this idea of, are we healthy? And so I'll say these. We'll put them on the screen. We'll have them everywhere you are. If you don't get them all down, it's fine. We'll put them on social media. And if you're not on Instagram, thank y'all too for all y'all Facebook people that came over to Instagram because of the prayer. I saw y'all. Thank y'all for following us too. I was like, ooh, I see all y'all. I see y'all. I do see it. We do see it. So we're glad. Thank y'all for y'all Facebook migrants that came on over to Instagram, and that was a lot of fun. So we'll have them up there and we'll send them out, and we'll make sure we'll follow up. But here's 5 things. The first one that we're going to be saying is we want to cast clear vision. And so again, the vision of our church is building an overcoming church out of broken lives through the power of Jesus Christ. And that is still our mantra. That's still what we're trying to do. And so we're going to continue to build that and communicate that. But we do want to give this second idea, is to define revival. Define revival. And so we've been using this RVL as just to abbreviate things. And so we'll be defining revival. I'm not so much talking about the word, but what does it mean? As you all have been seeing for the theme for the year, we're talking about revival. And what does it truly mean to live a revived life? Revival means to come back to life again. And so what does revival look like in our relationships? What does it look like in our finances? What does revival look like in my career? What does revival look like spiritually as I'm growing? What does it look like? And so we're going to be talking about that. We want to define revival so that we all can say the same thing. And I think that's really important. And then around defining revival, this third goal is that we want to make sure that we are creating a revival culture, a culture of revival. And so a culture, you all know what culture is. Culture is the behaviors, the attitudes that we operate. It's the unspoken things that we do and we say. And that's typically based on the values that you have, whether those values are written down or not. Culture is how we do what we do, and it's the unspoken language that how we operate. And so since revival is happening, we have to build a culture around revival, right? We have to understand that if 755 people gave their hearts to Jesus in 1 year, and just since January 1st, 127 people have given their lives to Jesus in 5 weeks. So revival, Pastor Derek came up with this phrase, revival is messy. Revival is chaotic. Revival is weird. Y'all see this altar is flooded. We were talking in our pastors' ministries, and we got to figure out a protocol to deal with all the people that are coming, you know? And so there's a way, there's a friendliness, there's an openness. I shared this story with some people that are coming that are just like, man, I'm finding a home here, and we made it that way. We design it to be that way so that people that are far away from God, that are in their process, we're like, look, this is a safe space for you. Come wherever you are, whatever your background is, whatever you're in the middle of, listen, I want you to meet Jesus, and we want to tell you about him. And you say, well, I'm already with him. Cool, come on and let's walk together, and we'll work this thing out along the way. That's messy. That's going to create some, well, what about this? And what do y'all believe about this? What's your position on that? And I'm okay with all of that, because I believe that God has people on his heart, and typically churches design things to keep people out instead of keeping people in and bringing them in. You remember I talked about that idea of territorialism, and we're going to create walls that are broken down so that people can meet God and grow in him, learn about him. So with that, you have to be flexible. You got to be available. You have to be okay with adjustments. All these numbers are happening. God's doing all these great things. So we have to create a culture around revival. And so we're going to define that. That's why it's important for you all to come to team night. That's important for you all to be able to listen in. You all, I'm speaking to like different people on Sundays when we're preaching. I'm speaking to the one that has never heard anything. This is the first time they've heard about any of this stuff, and they're brand new. And then at the same time, I'm talking to you all who are in it, are growing in those things. And so there's messages that I'm sending out to all different types of people so that they can hear, the Holy Spirit can respond to them, and they can respond to him. And so I just want to, there's going to be a culture around that. There's a reason why we say words like home. You all hear me say words like inclusive. We say collab. Our language is going to morph to match that culture of revival. And so that'll be something significant. And then one of the other things that we'll be doing is we'll be defining and developing our leaders, because all these people are coming to faith. We gotta grow our leadership base. And we had some incredible moments over this last week as we went to this conference that Dr. Chand had led, and he invited us to come, and we just got reaffirmed that, you know what, we got to continue to imagine what could be, and what that looks like for these revivalist leaders who can be processed, get served, they can lead, we can reproduce ourselves, and then grow and continue to match all of the things that are happening. And then, as I said before, the last one will be a financial makeover. And this is more internal, but I want to share this so you all know about it. As you all are, everything's going up, things are increasing, and we want to handle our business to be good stewards, looking at how we can manage that. And again, this is very behind the scenes stuff, but just so you all kind of know like how we approach these things. Our budget, we typically want to operate at 90% of the previous year. And so our team has worked really hard to get very, very close to that. We're not there yet, but we're looking to get there. That's the goal. So whatever the giving was for the last year, we matched that at 90% in terms of our expenses. So that gives us margin, space. We're not strapped. We have margin, we have capacity. And then even in terms of our debt elimination, I want to knock out this debt so we can go on to what we're doing as we're trying to build and grow our reserves for the next 34 years. And there's all these great things that God wants to do. And so we want to be strong financially. And from our missions, which is 10% of what we do, we typically want to allot to missions. And so that 10% breakdown will look like 5% for local, 2% for national, and those are churches outside of our state, and then also 2% for international. And then that gives us a 1% margin for opportunities that come up, where, for instance, like the fire that happened, we were able to give to that, and all these other things that come up, where this is just an opportunity that's built and fixed into the budget. And with at least $8.5 million, we can do a lot of good, and we can continue to grow that. And my belief is that all these people that are getting reached and getting discipled, we're going to grow them up so that they learn how to be generous, and it's just going to go even further so that we can meet the needs even more. And so with all of this, these great things that are happening, you all, on Sunday, I said it, I'm y'all see them chairs in that section, y'all? There are people that sit up there on the balcony, and so it's just packed in here. And so I'm excited because we're trying to match the growth. And so we have heard you all parents about trying to get these lines shortened. We've heard you all with the parking. The mall situation has been crazy because we can't park over there. Some of y'all are parking at Hardee's, and y'all are parking way back over there. So we've heard the cry, and we're working on a solution. So I'll tell you all tonight, okay? And then on the 23rd of February, we're going to share this with everybody. So on March 23rd, we're going to extend and add another service so that we can meet the need, okay? So on March the 23rd is when we will start our third service. And so our service times will be 8 a.m., 10 a.m., and 12 p.m. And so we're going to make that adjustment. We know that's going to disrupt some of you all's brunch plans and football watching and all of that. And so if you want to get it over with early, come at that 8 o'clock. Some of y'all remember we used to do the 7:30 service. Any of y'all remember that? We're not doing 7:30?
No, you can.
I'll be here.
I think 8 o'clock. That's
So on March 23rd, we'll do our three services. We'll start that. What that'll do is that'll give us 4 weeks of practice before we get to Easter, because it's just crazy. So March the 23rd, we'll start our three services. And so your directors, your team leads, they already know this. We talked about this over the last week or so, and we're just responding to the need. I'll be honest, we were trying to wait to do this in spring of 26, but because this momentum of people are coming, there's a threshold where at 80% of the people that are coming. The seats are filled. That's where you add another service, but that's changed. That number is now 70%, and we're way past that for our services. So we got to create space and make some opportunities available. And so we're going to be doing that for 4 weeks before, and then we'll on Easter Sunday, Easter weekend. What we're looking to do is have one Saturday service at probably 6 o'clock, so, 6 o'clock, somewhere around there, and then we'll do our 3 services on Sunday as well. And that'll just be our rhythm. I'll be honest with y'all, I don't think we're going to have, the way things are going, we're probably going to have to do something else, like launch a location or something else sooner than what we even thought. So y'all just pray for us. We're just trying to, there's this momentum that God is doing. And, you don't fight the momentum when it's happening. You just ride the wave. And so we are now cresting on the wave. And we're just going to ride this thing and see what Jesus does with all the life change and discipleship that he wants to do. Is anybody down for that? Anybody with that? Yeah. And so just one more thing I do want to mention. So February is our vision week that we typically do. And so we're going to be doing 2 this year. We're going to be doing this one in February, and then from this moment on, October will be our vision week, and where we'll be casting vision for the upcoming year in October. And all of our planning and our schedule, again, this is very behind the scenes stuff, but just so you all know what's happening, we changed how our strategic calendar is done. Typically, we go from January to December. And so for us, we want to make sure that our year planning is we put enough time in there so that we can actually plan properly. You all know season 3, which is for us September to December, is crazy. We just have there's a lot going on. So as we're doing one of the busiest seasons of the year for us, we're also trying to plan for the next year. That can be very chaotic in December. I mean, it's just crazy. And so we're going to make that adjustment to where now our calendar year in terms of our structure of our finances is actually going to go from September to August. Some of you all that are in government, teachers, that you all know what this looks like. The work for the military, you all know some sort of calendar that way. So for us, it'll be September and then of 25, and then it'll go to August of 26. So we'll start that this year. Again, this is behind the scenes stuff, but the big point of what we're going to be stepping into will be in October. So that first week of October, what that's going to look like, we're going to have some gatherings like this. Our presbyters are going to come back, and they're going to be speaking into us, and kind of not so much a conference yet, but it'll be kind of that vibe for that week, and just really hearing the heart of what's for us for the future. And so that'll be in October. Easter's coming up, so y'all get ready for that. Bring people. We're going to start talking about that and more, and providing some ways. There's all this stuff that we said. We said a lot tonight. We said a whole lot, but we want to make sure that you get connected through our newsletter, our social media. Please follow us on Instagram. Really, really important that you're following us on Instagram. If you have a beef with, well, I say us too. No, they need to follow you. Number one, because them soups is off the chain. But then secondly, you need to make sure that you're following your pastors. I think that's important to be a part of that. And so, track with us. Team, can y'all put our socials up there, please? At some point, y'all throw that up there. You can just screenshot that, and then follow the church at CRCNorfolk, and you can track there. Also, we have a newsletter, and so on our website, you can be added to that, and it's going to be a good thing. There's a lot going on, and we want to make sure that you're registered for Revive Us. There's a lot of great things that God is doing, and babe, aren't you excited? Aren't you thrilled to be a part? And this is crazy. You got anything you want to add? Anything you want to?
No, I think everyone wants to eat. Right? I think you do.
Yeah, y'all just nobody. Oh, don't ask no questions. Don't ask no questions. It's one of them type things. It's a lot we shared, and a lot's happening, and I'm excited because we get to be a part of this. I wanna ask you this question before we get out of here. I asked our staff this recently, and we were asked of this in one of these gatherings that we were part of, and when did your imagination die? Was it when you were 6 years old and they said, don't touch that stove? Was it when you were 2 years old and said, don't put your finger in that socket? Someone had to teach us fear is learned. We were taught how to be fearful. We weren't born that way. We're born free. And, that's why I think Jesus says have childlike faith, because they are able to dream and imagine. One of the things that we're going to be talking about this year is discovery and the idea of discovering. Be a person that wants to discover new ways. What would it look like? What would it look like for all of your neighbors where you could go to them and you could feed everybody that has a need in your neighborhood? You know, could you imagine if somebody's marriage is messed up, they know that you are the place where they can get healed and restored and be broken and honest. Brothers, what would it look like instead of brothers faking and acting like they're okay on your job and your family, you are known as the restorer and the healer that can help them? What would it look like for brothers to be vulnerable and honest and by the thousands? You know, what would it look like if our kids, they would be able to dream dreams that could only be fulfilled with God empowering them? Could you imagine hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people hearing the message of revival? What would it look like? Could you imagine, instead of doing church the way that we've always done church for people that like to do church that way, there are people on the heart of God that don't know any of this stuff, but they want something that's truthful and real. What would that look like to do that? What would it look like for moms that are trying to disciple their children, and instead of opting for I think the most convenient way, but they decide to stay home and teach their children? What would it look like for women to gather in homes all around this region and around our digital community and build discipleship and community there? What could you imagine? Just dream with me. The reason why we've been praying this way is because I want God this year to unlock your imagination to dream what could be. And he uses you to do that. We're going to talk about that this year through revival. And I believe that he wants to do that in a way that's significant. And so why don't we stand up, you all, because it's been a minute. Thank you all for your patience. Thank you all for letting us get through all this incredible information. If somebody missed it, just say, check out the link, check the video, watch the tape, as they used to say. Watch the tape. But I'm expectant of what God is going to do. He's been so faithful, and he's been so good, and he's going to continue to do great things.